If you want to grow your own food and never have time to take care of them, this may be a good solution for you. And what we are talking about is SIP, Sub-irrigated planter. One of the problems with a conventional watering system is we water from top. And a lot of time, maybe only less than 50% of the waters actually come down to the roots because due to the runoff and evaporation. By using the sub-irrigated planter, we are actually watering from the bottom up, utilizing the capillary action. A simple explanation of a capillary action is almost like when you threw a paper towel on a puddle of water and the water will come straight up to the paper towel like a wicking action. Is overcoming the gravity. This sub-irrigated planter works on the exact same principle. I didn't come up with this idea. A fellow YouTuber, Larry Hall, was actually famous for his rain gutter growing system and his kiddie pool system. And what I did is I just make a little twist on his design, make it what I believe is a little better. The key differences between my design and the Larry Hall's design is I use a lower level, water level, and gravel level. He set his gravel at 3 inches and the water level at 2 inches, and I set mine gravel level at 2 inches and the water level just slightly below 2 inches. And also I use a different float valve. The advantage I think I have over his design is I use my float valves are a lot smaller, and which make it a lot more compact, so I can use a smaller box. Since the float valve are maintaining the constant water level, so the lower level doesn't really hurt the function of the system. And also when you use less gravel, it's cheaper. One of the key disadvantages of having a lot of gravel is the kiddie pools are not rigid on the side. So when you pack it with a lot of gravel, it tends to sag and bolt up. And I have that situation happen to me. If you just look at my video at the end, I have to adjust the float valve lower is because of the bowing of the kiddie pool. So after you put the gravel on and you set your plants on, the pool will kind of bolt up and it drops the drain hole. I had to drop the float valve even lower. So I took the shim out. I shim it with a towel at the beginning, and then I had to go in there and take the shim out so my level will be below the drain hole. With the current situation in the world where we have post-pandemic supply chain issue and the inflation and the war in Russia, and also on top of that, we are having a drought. Growing your own food is something we really need to look into and get better at because we may just need it one day. To control the water inlet to the kiddie pool, a lot of you may have seen these on YouTube. They have used this float valve, and I run across these different type of float valve on Amazon. So I bought some and just try it out, and we'll see how it works. Because the thing with these is this: they're a lot more compact. You can just see how much smaller they are. So we can fit into a lot smaller boxes. So initially I was using one of those single-use food container to house the valve, but as soon as I try to drill holes to it, and it just disintegrated. So I scrapped that idea. So I went to the local restaurant supply store and I found these for like $4, and they're really thick and sturdy. So I drilled some holes and I installed the valve, so now I can actually screw the valve into the container so it holds up. Instead of that flimsy stuff, you just keep rocking back and forward. And all it is just an elbow with the riser, and then another elbow, and this is a garden hose connector. So actually you can adapt to anything you want. If you have hard piping running through there, you can actually use a PVC pipe and run it over, or PAX, or whatever you want to run it with. The green stuff will float up as the water rises, and to a certain point it will just cut off the flow of the water. So we'll set this in the pool. With these, I will have to probably set the height with some kind of stuff on the bottom to raise it up where I can get close to 2 inches. I'll probably set it to like 1 3/4. You know, that drain hole is just for when it rained and it has a place to drain the water out. And so you don't want these to be higher than a drain hole. Then you won't stop draining. We're gonna drill the drain hole for the kiddie pool here. So That way, if it rains, it will drain. It won't overfill the kiddie pool. One important thing is make sure you drill an overflow hole above the float, because you have a float bowl in there. So if you drain it below the float bowl will never stop. Your water will continue to run. So make sure you drill it slightly higher than the float bowl. I'm gonna start up with 4 holes and see how it works. If it needs more, then I'll drill more. But 1 on each end, diagonally across. I already drilled 1 here. One way to gauge is when I measure it is the first curve here. The top of first, the curve is around. That's around 2 inches. Yeah, just a little bit above 2 inches. See, straight across. It's going to be this one. Yep, this one. All right. If you see, when you look here now, I have 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be enough. If I have a problem, then I may drill more. But this is what I had last week, and you can see the water is fairly filthy. And what I'm going to do is build another one with auto water feed, and I'm gonna put some gravel on top of that, and I'm gonna set all this stuff on top of the gravel so there's no standing water, and that water looks pretty nasty. Yeah. So we're gonna set it right here. Put these up. So what I decided is to use these tiles to space it up. Here's a old towel. I put it on the bottom to space it up, and that will be good. And then I'll hook everything up, and then I'll put the gravel in. Go ahead and put on my lid. I'm gonna put this on top just to put some weight on it so it doesn't move around. And let me see here. I think my garden hose, I'm gonna do it like, move it over here. So the garden hose will come in the angle. I'm gonna run a test it first and see how it performs. I'm gonna turn the water on. Put some towel on the bottom to shim it up. Well, after I sham the bottom of the pool, the water level kind of, the drain hole, the water level gonna drop. So now I'm gonna add the gravel. I think I'm gonna add it over here in the corner. I'm gonna secure that box with gravel first. I think that's perfect. It stopped draining on this side, but over there is still draining. It's still draining over here. Still draining over here. And over here is not draining anymore because I think it's higher. That side is sloped down. So, but overall, I think this is good. Well, after a week that I finished building this pool, I make a few changes, but overall, it looks pretty good. I mean, I put mulches in the bed so the grass won't grow out, so I don't have to worry about the grass. The only thing I majorly changed is back here. I have since take the garden hose out and put in a 3/8 inch hose, because the garden hose just keep on leaking. I mean, that just not designed for prolonged exposure to pressure on the back end, I guess. And also, I have readjusted the height. I moved the 2 piece of the tile on the bottom off, and the box is set directly on the bottom of the pool, so that drops the level a little more. And then I put weight on top of the box so it doesn't rock back and forth, doesn't change the height position, so that makes this thing a lot more stable. And other than that, it's been working good. And you see the corn has grown quite a bit, but as for the other pool, it's still sitting over here. I haven't time to build the second one, but I have all the parts. I just need to put it together. These are Walmart bags you get for 50 cents. And you can grow a bunch of stuff in it. And unlike the conventional growing, you have to keep watering, especially this hot summer, you have to keep watering every day. With these, you just sit and forget. You don't have to mess with it. Let it rip. Next thing you know, you start picking up fruit. And that's it, guys. If you like the content I presented, please subscribe to my channel. This is a fairly new channel I just started, and I will continue to post a lot more video, mainly on DIY stuff, solar, IoTs, woodworking, just cooking, just the stuff that I do. Thank you for watching and thank you for your time. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.